beautiful people, and welcome. In today's video, we're talking about graphing linear equations. Now, we know three different types of linear equations. They are slope-intercept form, point-slope form, and standard form. So I'm going to do one example of each of how to graph the line of the equation. As always, if I make a mistake, I am human. Please let me know where the mistake occurs so that way I may learn from it and then you may learn from my mistake as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. For the slope-intercept form, you're going to have a line that says y equals mx plus b. Now, the m represents your slope. The b represents your y-intercept. Now, what is a y-intercept? A y-intercept is a point on the y-axis. So m is your slope. This plus b, make sure you take the sign with it. So you're going to have 0, comma b, or whatever number that is. So how are you going to graph? You're going to, step number 1, start at the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is going to be your 0, comma b. Then 2, use the slope to find the second point on the line. And again, you're going to be using your rise over run. Here's the thing right here, thinking bubble. If you have a negative slope, for example, if you have negative a over b, I'm just making it up. You can rewrite this as negative a over b, or you can rewrite this as a over negative b. So all of that is the same. If you have a positive slope, for example, c over d, you can rewrite that as negative c over negative d. So the negative just tells you direction. If the negative is on top, it tells you you're going down. If the negative is on the bottom, it means you're going left. All right, so step number 1 is start at the y-intercept. Step number 2 is you're going to use the slope to find the second point on the line. After that, you're done. You're going to connect. You're going to connect your 2 points, and you're done. Let's go ahead and do an example. So here is our equation of y equals mx plus b. Again, our m, or the number in front of our x, is our slope. So that means we have a slope of negative 3/4. Then we have our y-intercept. Make sure you take the sign with it. It means my y-intercept is 0, 2. It is a point. Make sure you're writing it as a point. So step number 1 is to start at the y-intercept. So we're starting at 0, 2. So that means we're here, 0, 2. And then we're going to use the slope to find our secondary point. Now here we have a negative 3/4. So I'm going to rewrite this just like you say it. So when you say it, negative 3/4, negative 3/4. I'm going to see if I can do that here. If I can't do this, I can change the negative to the bottom. So this says I go down 3 because of the negative, and this is right 4. So down 3 is 1, 2, 3. Right 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is our slope. If you were to do the negative on the bottom, this would be up 3, left 4. So if we do up 3, left 4 from our original point, up 3, 1, 2, 3, left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would have these two instead of these 2 points. Okay, whichever one you want. Now you're going to use a straight edge, either side of a paper. If you have a ruler, fantastic. You're going to connect these, and you're going to make the line pretty big to extend out. Make sure you have arrows. Arrows are super important because you have a continuous function. Now notice that this line is a little bit above this point right here. I'm just going to make the point bigger. So that way my point is exactly on that line. So this is slope-intercept form. Next form we're going to have is point-slope form. And point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Now this is pretty cool, I think, in my opinion. M is the same. It is your slope. Then you're going to have this y1 and you're going to have this x1. This is going to be your point. And remember, you have an x1, comma, y1. So this is where you have to, I'm going to even change markers. I'm going to try to see if I have a red. This is super important. When creating the point, do the opposite. For your x1 and y1. So if you see a positive, let's do y plus 8. Your y1 would be negative 8. You want to do the opposite. So if you see x minus 4, your x1 would be a positive 4. Opposite. You're doing the opposite. So once you're going to find that out, you're going to, step 1, use the point. Step number 2 is use the slope. And step number 3, you're going to connect and you're done. So how would that look like? Use the point, use the slope, connect, and done. Here is a point slope form. So y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So we want the slope. We want the point. Now remember, point is x1, comma, y1. We're looking at what lines up. I have a 4 and a y. I have a 7 and an x1. And then I have my slope. So again, remember how we said think opposite? So here's your 4. What's in front of 4 is a plus. Here's your 7. What's in front of 7? A minus. So your slope is super easy. You just take this number here. Slope is going to be 1/2. Your point, your x1, I have a minus 7 here. So that means I'm going to do a plus 7 for my point. My y1, it has a 4 that's positive. So I'm doing the opposite. So I'm writing a minus 4. You're going to take that point. You're going to plot it. So I have a 7 and a negative 4. There it is. Then I have a slope of 1/2. 1 is positive. 2 is also positive. So that means I go up 1 and I'm going to the right 1 as well. So up 1 over 1. Oh, just kidding. 2. This is 2, not 1. So up 1 over 2. Let's see if I have a white out to white that out. Up 1 over 2 because I have a 2 in the bottom. Notice how I ran out of room. You only need 2 points to make a line. However, if you wanted to continue, notice I'm running out of space. Remember in the previous example, we said I can rewrite my positive slope as negative top and bottom. So that means I go down 1 over 2 to the left, and I can continue making points. However, you only need 2 points to make a line. So if we had these 2 originally, that would be fine. If you want to do more, you can do more. Make sure your line is extended and that you have arrows on both sides. Alrighty, let's do one more example. Actually, let's do steps first before this example. This example is in standard form. Now, for point slope form and for slope intercept form, it was pretty much the same step. We have a point like the intercept, or we have a regular point, and then we use the slope to find the secondary point. This standard form is the one that's going to be different. So standard form, sorry about that, is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c cannot be fractions. A has to be positive, but you're going to see this form here. Now, what to do? Step number 1 is make x equal to 0 to solve for y-intercept. So what you're going to do is whatever you have for x, you're just going to make it 0. You're going to cross this out, and you're just going to have your by, your something y equals c, and you're going to solve for y. Now, once you solve for y, that is your y-intercept. So you're going to do 0, comma y. That's your first point. Step number 2 is you're going to make y0 to solve for the x-intercept. So that means you're going to set your y equal to 0. So that means I have just whatever term has x in it left over. You're going to solve, oh, you guys can't see that, sorry. You're going to solve for x. Now, that means you're going to have an x-intercept. You're going to have a number in the x spot, and you're going to plot these. Step number 3, you're going to plot the x and y. You're going to connect those two, and then you're done. And for these steps, if you want to pause this video and write these down, please go ahead and do so. So let's do standard form. So we got to find the y-intercept and the x. Now, you can find the x first and the y. The order doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that you're solving. So I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to have 3x plus 4y equals 10. 3x plus 4y equals 10. So what do I have here? So I'm going to make my x be 0. So that means I'm just going to take in my finger and I'm going to cover this term. So I have 4y equals 10 left over. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So y is equal to 10 fourths. However, I need to simplify that because 2 goes into 10 and 2 goes into 4. So my y-intercept is 0, 5 halves. Now, don't worry that it's a fraction. I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit. So then let's do the same thing for our x-intercept, making y 0. That means take your finger, cover this term. What do I have left over? Oh, you guys can't see. I have 3x and 10 left over. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Now, typically you'd see prettier problems than this because fractions and intercepts, we don't like that. But that's okay. So we have 10 thirds. So that means I have 10 thirds as my x-intercept, and I have my y be 0. Okay, so these are my x and y-intercepts. So how do I deal with this as a fraction? Notice that these fractions are improper fractions. So I'm going to convert them to a mixed number. So what I'm going to do is convert that. So how many times does 2 go into 5? 2 times 2 is 5, but 2 times 2 is not technically 5. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Then we have here, 3 times what is 10? Well, I know that 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. So now that we have this as a mixed number, we can do 2 and 1/2. So then 2 and 1/2, there's 2, and here's 1/2. Now this right here is your, what is this? This is your y-intercept. So it's going to be on the y-axis. Oops, sorry about that. It's going to be on your y-axis. So on your y-axis, I'm looking for 2.5. Here's 2, here's a half. 2.5 is right there. And on your x-axis, I have 3 and 1/3. So I have 3, and let's approximate. So 3 and 1/3 is going to be around here-ish. Now you don't have to be exact. You just need to be within the range of correctness when you're graphing fractions. So here you go. 2 lines, connect them. You have your x-intercept, you have your y-intercept. Make sure your line is extended and make sure you have arrows on both. All right, beautiful people, that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you go back and you have all of your steps written down for graphing using SlopeIntercept, point slope form, and standard form. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.